1,600 independent locations throughout America. KISS 1 Hour Photo, the quality photo processor. And by Kodak and the family of Kodacolor VR films. Kodak Film, because time goes by. This is the way David McGlynn sees the world, in fragments and sections, one slice at a time. The unique outlook of his photographs, featured in Life magazine, seems to have always been a part of his personality.
Well, when I was at school, I started experimenting with panoramics, and I'm sure everyone's familiar with the idea of taking a series of pictures in a row, darkroom. I did a few of those and really enjoyed it. I started making contact prints, not cutting them up and leaving that black bar in, which is the space in between the negatives. And I thought one day, what would happen if I did a whole series of them going from top to bottom as well as left to right? So I was doing a series of 360 degrees around, and I just was curious to see what it would be like to go 360 degrees the other way. What would that result be? Well, I thought about it, and I came up with this comical-looking device here, which enabled me to spin the camera around 360 degrees in the other way, and this panoramic head enabled me to go the other way. 150 frames later is this here. This was photographed at the base of the George Washington Bridge by the Major Deegan. A couple of interesting things happen when you photograph like this. For one thing, it's one way to see everything there is to see in a given situation on one flat. It takes in a full 360 degrees that way, and if you want, the other way around. Most of the images are 360 by 180. One of the other neat things that happens is the expression of time. It takes a certain amount of time to take all these photographs. I usually work from left to right, and it sometimes takes up to an hour. I decided to photograph the Brooklyn Bridge because I thought it would be perfectly suited to his technique. It presented a few different difficulties, which I worked out. Metering there was difficult. The sun was coming from behind, and one of the things about these photographs is that because you're taking in every single thing there is to be seen, you're also taking in every possible variation in lighting. So you're getting incredible range. And there's no bracketing like there is in regular photography. I couldn't take in one underexposure, overexposure. It's one shot, really. Even though it is 80 frames, I just have that one shot. So what you end up with is a view which starts in Manhattan, looking down the walkway, takes in Upper Manhattan, the river, Brooklyn, the bridge itself from the Manhattan side, the river again, and then all of Lower Manhattan, back around full 360 degrees. And 180 degrees looking down to all the way up, the cables and the structure of the bridge and the pattern that ensued. Photographing the marathon was a real challenge for me. I had to shoot 4 strips of 11 frames in under 4 minutes. I was at the beginning of the race on the Verrazano Bridge, and there was just that small amount of time when the runners would be going by. I used motor drive for the first time with the device. I had to do a roll change in the middle of that. After I had done that, then I filled in with the bottom and the top shots to complete the picture. I do all my own color processing and printing. You have to use the same batch of film, same emulsion number. In addition to that, when you're processing, you have to do it all in the same tank. You have to do it in the same order, because any variation is going to be seen. After processing and drying, I cut them and then strip off the sprocket holes with a blade and a ruler. And I tape them down to a piece of glass and make a direct contact print. The overall size of the negative is huge when you think about it. For the Brooklyn Bridge, it's 10 inches by 8 inches. For the boat image, I didn't use the device or a tripod. I did it freehand. And I wanted to create a shape that was different from what I was getting with the device. I wanted to have a little more control. To do that particular image, I stood myself in the boat and I oriented myself and chose one frame that I would always go back to as a reference. So I chose that frame with my left foot in the corner. And then I went up and then started shooting, you know, like that. And then went down to that frame there. And then I went back to that frame, moved up one, and then counted up again, 3. And I curved that line. See, ordinarily with the tripod it would be straight, but I curved that, and that corrected in a way. And then I proceeded to shoot that one. And then I went back down to that one, then to the next one, then to the next one. Proceeded in that fashion. And then to shoot behind me, I had to step out of the way, key into that shot again, move up again, and shoot this way, holding the camera upside down. So after the boat image, I realized the potential for working without the tripod and doing freehand images, creating new landscapes, new shapes, and it, you know, opened up a whole new world.